Porto has been amazing, but it is time to check out the capital, Lisbon. Taking a train from Porto to Lisbon, we were actually going to take the really cheap bus, but we were super lucky because there was a strike, and thus the only option was this one train that left mad early in the morning. So that's the train that we're on. The train ride was really beautiful from what I could see of it. I was sleeping for the most of it. And now we've arrived to the Airbnb. These are the views. So beautiful. This is a replica of the San Francisco Bridge, apparently. Our Airbnb is within walking distance of this super cute art district area, like warehouses turned into little studios and shops and really cute cafes. This was our favorite. It's called The Therapist. Healthy but delicious food. Definitely recommend. Try not to drink the tap water in Portugal, guys. I've had an upset stomach because of it. So be careful with the tap water if you're not used to it. This is a freaking amazing library you gotta check out if you go to this art area. Spoiler alert, I'm about to show multiple angles of this bookstore, but still worth checking out in person. Always nice to see what kind of books bookstores carry, so that's something you could check out. First day in Lisbon, and it is so freaking beautiful. It is really nice that it's not raining. Oh no, you can see the shadow of my phone, but it's been raining every single day almost in Porto, so to get a break from that and actually being able to see the sunset is incredible. And great first impressions, totally large city vibes, and Porto was more small town vibes, which I did really like. So I don't really know which I prefer, if I had to pick Porto or Lisbon to live in. I don't really know yet. It's too early to tell. It's really cool to be traveling during Christmas. This is actually the 23rd of December, and just seeing all the Christmas decorations is such a vibe. We weren't even trying to find this place. And look at how lit it is.
Your lens is dirty. You need to clean it and do it again.
Well, that's way better. Okay, so my lens just got cleaned. But yeah, we just found this place. Not even on purpose. We didn't know about this place. Tomorrow's Christmas, so it's not really a surprise. So as I mentioned earlier, when comparing Porto versus Lisbon, one of the first things you might realize is that the weather in Lisbon seems to be consistently better, especially during this time of year, so that may be something to consider. This is a really cute park, which reminded me a little bit of the park in front of the Eiffel Tower, although French people are going to be like, what the hell, what do you mean? Obviously not as grand, but I would say quite a perk for a city. Awesome graffiti everywhere, again, artistic vibes, which is really important to me, as I am an artist, so I like being surrounded by art. Lisbon is just a really big city. In Porto, you're able to walk pretty much everywhere, and everything is in close proximity, whereas in Lisbon, you really can't reach all the destinations by foot, and the elevations are insane, even more crazy than Porto, so I mean, it's a good workout for sure. Like most capital cities, Lisbon has incredible food from all over the world, an eclectic range of food choices. I felt more inspired by the food options in Lisbon than I did in Porto. In many ways, Lisbon is a perfect city. The prices are reasonable, especially when you compare it to other capital cities in Europe. The prices are good. Not as cheap as Porto, but again, Porto is not a capital city, so that's to be expected. However, personally, I do like that Porto is much cheaper than Lisbon overall. Rent is much cheaper there. The fact that Lisbon is already a pretty perfect city, it's got the awesome architecture, cute restaurants with wonderful interiors, hip and cool cafes, anything that you would hope that a city has
isn't necessarily a perk in my opinion. I prefer the up-and-coming energy in Porto because it makes me feel like it's full of potential and that I want to contribute to that growth. There's always so much to look at in Lisbon. There's always new things going on. You're never bored. And in Porto, because it is smaller, there are only so many places you can go. I would say you do have a higher chance of getting bored, so it depends on your lifestyle. Do you need to be stimulated by your environment 100%, by newness all the time? I personally don't mind because most of the time I'm painting in a studio and I am pretty focused on what I'm doing, so I just really care about the vibe and energy of the place and whether that inspires me or not. And personally, I feel more inspired by, like I said, the up-and-coming vibe of Porto versus the already seemingly perfect city of Lisbon. Just putting it out there, everyone that we encountered were really friendly and nice in both cities. Portuguese people are just really nice. They're friendly, and I think it's just the culture. It's such a warm culture. However, I did notice that in Porto, the people were exceptionally helpful and friendly, and even they would take out time to talk to you and chat with you for as long as you felt like talking to them, even though they were working, sort of thing. Like, it was just very friendly vibes. And in Lisbon, there's more of a busy, hustle bustle kind of atmosphere, so it seems like people have a little bit less time and a little less time for you. Another strength of Lisbon versus Porto is that if you're a long distance runner, there's definitely more stretches of land or spaces for you to run in Lisbon than Porto. Lisbon had actually just flooded only a few days before we arrived, so you can see in the underground tunnel that there's still a lot of water left on the floors. We're checking out of our Airbnb and look at the incredible weather. The Chinese girl posing in front of her camera stand. And yeah, this bridge actually really does give San Francisco vibes. Look at the fog, the mist in the distance.
Okay, this is officially the coolest Airbnb ever. We're inside a courtyard with a bunch of restaurants as well, so the location is insane. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, this is crazy. Crazy cool, crazy cool.
This is a rooftop bar accessible from our courtyard. There's an elevator right in the middle of our courtyard downstairs from our Airbnb, and it brings us to this rooftop bar basically. Look at the incredible views and the sunset. We were quite lucky with the weather today. It wasn't like that every day. I suppose this used to be the red light district, and now it's just a really cute street with an umbrella roof, or multiple umbrellas as the roof. No shortage of party vibes over the weekend, so if you're into that, Lisbon may just be for you, haha. There is a really cute area with several bar streets where basically it gets extra poppin' at night, especially after 12 a.m. and I really enjoy that glimpse of the endless elevations all over Lisbon. I forgot to mention that if you want to go out in the middle of the week in Lisbon, those bar streets are pretty lit, pretty fire as well. We are being heavy tourists today, exploring this incredible castle that looks cliche castle-y as well on the outside. It just looks like exactly what you think a castle would look like. Get the full view of Lisbon from up here. Gorgeous. Highly recommend checking out this castle actually. It's much bigger than I expected it to be, and you can walk around and get even more incredible views at the top of the castle. I'm actually about to spoil a lot of this journey around the castle. It was just so cool and I kept wanting to take footages of everything that I saw. It's really unbalanced how much I've been showing you guys. Some days, especially when the weather was nice, that's when I felt inspired to take videos of what I was seeing, and other days I would maybe just take a snippet. So this is very disorganized, but you know my style of vlogging. Organized chaos.
This is a massive city on.
We saw this branch going all the way down from the castle, so we decided to go check it out. Went all the way down, were not impressed, and had to walk all the way up again.
Spotted! It's the Guardians of the Castle. And the kids too.
This farmer's market was right next to our Airbnb, so I decided to go check it out. The prices were all really good. I bought a large salmon fillet sized salmon piece and it only cost €3, which is so cheap. So my boo surprised me with a yacht trip for New Year's Eve, which I highly recommend. It made this night so special. So not only do you get to see the landmarks from a different perspective than if you're on land, you also get to be closer to the fireworks in Lisbon on New Year's Eve. So you get the best seat, basically, and you also see the fireworks being blown up from multiple different cities around Lisbon. I was told that we could see fireworks from 5 different cities. I don't know if it's exactly 5. Look at all the people. Definitely worth coming to Lisbon to spend Christmas and New Year's.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
I have been in several countries during Christmas and New Year's, and I have to say Lisbon got the vibes and it's just an awesome place to be. I've been somewhat disappointed on New Year's Eve in other countries before because fireworks weren't as much of a thing, and growing up in Iceland we had a lot of fireworks on New Year's. It's still happening. We don't have all these rules and limitations and restrictions on New Year's like a lot of large cities do. So I have to say, considering all of that, Lisbon is a vibe. Everyone's out. It's just very decorated and I recommend.
Oh, it's so cool how these lights stay in the sky, baby. Look.
Obviously, I've only been in Lisbon for a week and a half, so it's a first impressions type of video, but hopefully it's useful for you. I feel like first impressions really matter when you go to a city. It says a lot, and if you are interested in seeing my video on Porto, definitely have a look at that. I do a more in-depth take on Porto in that video. Personally, in terms of living for what I'm looking for, I feel like I gravitate more towards Porto based on the limited time that I've been in both of these places. Porto seems to fulfill what I'm looking for more, and if you want to know why, have a look at that video. But Lisbon is a really well-rounded city. In many ways, more so than Porto. You have everything that you could really be looking for in a city, and it has a higher quality of life than most cities in Europe. So it's an awesome city. The weather is really good. I don't have much negative to say about it. I feel like it's just more hustle and bustle than I necessarily need, and the prices are higher than what I would be looking for. But if you're looking for a travel destination, obviously just definitely go to either Porto or Lisbon. I think they're incredible options. So quick takeaways: holidays are awesome in Lisbon. Weather is great in Lisbon. Food I prefer in Lisbon because more variety, and walking tends to be better in Porto. You can run in Lisbon, cheaper rent, cheaper living in Porto, and yeah. It is March. It's been ages. I've been putting this video off forever. I'm so sorry. You have been giving me a lot of positive and good feedback for my Porto videos, so I feel like I have to make this video public for you guys in case this is also useful for you. But yeah, I basically am back in my studio here in Beijing. Still don't know exactly what I'm gonna do about Portugal, but I think, you know, eventually I will move there, just currently taking it one step at a time. But I wanted to let you guys know that you can support me really easily by subscribing to my channel. I'm figuring out how to integrate my interests, my passions, my art in these videos in a fun way. So definitely let me know if you enjoy these DIY chill style videos and would be interested in seeing me share my art process. If there is a style that you would prefer these videos in, let me know. I'm currently figuring that out. And you can also check out my main collections, so my actual art, like the stuff behind me and what I'm currently working on. You can see those images on my Instagram, so definitely follow me there to help support as well. You can also reach me in the contact section on my Instagram. So I'm not gonna like put my email here, but yeah, anyway, I hope this was really useful. And if you are thinking of moving to Portugal, let me know in the comment section below. What was your biggest takeaway? If this was useful, just say yes or no in the comments. I mean, I would really appreciate your feedback. It helps me improve and figure out my content on this channel. And yeah, I really appreciate your support. I love you guys. Ciao.